Fine, good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine and you all are doing well. Students, by God's grace, I hope you all are safe. So pray to God for your health, your studies and everything. Okay. So warm greetings to you all students. Welcome to our today's online class. So students, please watch daily online class. Okay. So please don't waste time. So today we are going to study about new chapter, chapter 4. Okay. So till that I have completed chapter 3. Okay. So since you didn't get the textbook, so while I'm taking class itself, I used to take notes, isn't it? So those who didn't got a textbook, that means from your seniors or anything, or PDF file, those who don't have any PDF file or anything, so please take notes. That's enough. Okay, please take notes and study. Okay students, so for that, don't think if you don't have book, don't have PDF files or nothing, that so after getting books we can study, so that and all, it's not good. Okay students, so this each and every time is precious for you, so please study well. Okay, listen carefully students. So, what's the title of your chapter means? Algorithmic strategies. Okay. So, each and every chapter you have studied very important some questions, isn't it? So, in this chapter also, second part of the chapter. Okay. Not a first chapter of the first part of the chapter. So, this chapter we can divide as the two parts. Okay. First part and second part. So first part is they have given importance for 2 mark and 3 mark question. Okay. The sum from second part you can expand 5 mark question. Very important. The expected 5 mark questions are there from second part. Okay. So first part is mainly based on 2 mark and 3 mark question. Only one 5 mark question there. Second part is fully 5 mark question, and each and every one is very important questions. Okay students. So, algorithmic strategies. So, this chapter we are going to study algorithms. What do you mean by algorithm? So, algorithm means, please just think as a procedure. So, practical and all you will do no. So, physics, chemistry or any practical. So, you are doing means don't compare to the computer practical. So, take physics practical. You are going to do one physics practical. So, what first you will write? A. Then apparatus required. This and leave it. Then next what you will write after the apparatus required? Procedure, isn't it? So what's the use of procedure? So procedure means what you are going to do. So whatever you are doing, same thing you will write as a English words or a sentence or paragraph, isn't it? Point by point. So by reading the procedure itself, any person can able to understand. So this experiment is like that, isn't it? So that is called what? Algorithm. The procedure you are saying no, so that only called what? Algorithm. In computer we are saying, instead of that procedure we are saying as what? Algorithm. Understood? So we can say algorithm is a finite set of instructions. What do you mean by instructions? Instruction means, for example, in roadways or traffic rules will be there some instruction. What's that? Go straight, turn left, walk in a path, cross the road while that light is blinking, isn't it? Lot of instructions are there. So likewise, algorithm means also if you need to complete a particular thing, if you need to complete a particular task, you are writing some instructions. That is called what? Algorithm. Understood what do you mean by algorithm? It's a finite set of instructions to complete a particular task. Okay. Otherwise, we can say it's a step-by-step procedure. Okay. Otherwise, we can say what? Step-by-step procedure. So, using the step-by-step procedure, you can able to solve a problem. For example, maths, you are going to solve one big problem. So, altogether, whether you can solve? No. Step by step. First, you will write the given. Then you will solve by the given data. Then you will get one answer. By that answer you will solve next thing. So likewise, for example, in a maths problem they ask to find the value of A, B and C. What you will do? First you will find the value of A. And then next you will find the value of B. Next you will find the value of C. Just like a step by step. So at last, if you need to get the full A, B, C, means you need to combine all the answers, isn't it? So it's a step by step procedure to solve a given problem. Okay, so now each and every algorithms will have Input and output. What do you mean by input and what do you mean by output? For example, you are going to add two numbers. Okay, for you are going to add two numbers. For example, take two numbers 10 and 15. So what's the input? 10 and 15 you take as the input. So after getting the input, what you will do? 10 plus 15. So what answer you will get? 15 as the answer. So what's the output now? 15. So each and every problem or algorithm has input as well as output. Okay, so in computer, algorithms are mainly used to store, manipulate and retrieve data. For example, so in a school, for example, you are going to pay the fees in office. Okay, what are the things you will say? For paying the fees, you will say your name as well as division, maybe sometimes roll number. So if you are saying your name, division and roll number, so in the system, if you are saying means all your details, that means which class you are studying, what's address, each and everything will be displayed on the system. How? Because first itself they have stored all the details in one system called what? Database or data structure. So you are going to write some algorithm to store the data, to store all the details, then manipulate, managing that one. Retrieve means whenever you are going to pay the fees, at that time your details will be displayed. So like whenever you need the details from the data structures, you are going to retrieve the data. Okay, so what are some examples for data structures? Means arrays are last year you have studied. Structures last year you have studied. Then list, tuples, dictionary, this and all you have studied in this year, isn't it? So what are the examples? So what are the examples of data structures? Arrays, structures, list, tuples, dictionary. Okay, so see the last line, that is very very important, 1 mark question, or sometimes they will ask for 2 mark also. Define algorithmic strategy, or they will ask the way of defining an algorithm is called dash. Okay, what is that one? The way of defining an algorithm is called dash, algorithmic strategy. Okay, then what do you mean by the way of designing? This way only. For example, you are going to build one new house, so you will design. So this way only you need to build a house. You will draw a plan based on that, isn't it? So that likewise you are going to define an algorithm. You are planning like this. This way only you need to define an. That is called what? Algorithmic strategy. Understood what I mean by algorithm strategy? A way of defining algorithm is called what? Algorithmic strategy. Okay. So listen. So what do you mean by? So in this chapter you are going to study two types of algorithms. Searching algorithm and sorting algorithm. So for that they have given some overview. First one is search. What do you mean by search normally? So last year also you have studied one example program, linear search. Are you remembering? So I explained with one example also. Same thing only you are going to study this year also. Linear search means some list of values you are storing in a data structure or list. So you are going to search any one value along with search key value, isn't it? So likewise, what do you mean by search? So data structure, lot of values you are storing, but you are going to searching a particular item. So in this algorithm or this chapter, you are going to study two types of searching algorithm to search an item. What are they? Linear search and binary search. Okay. So what's the use of search? Search means you are going to search an particular item in a data structure. So using how many types of algorithm? Two types. What are they? Using linear search and binary search. Okay. So next type of algorithm is sorting. So what do you mean by sorting? Sorting means some values will be there. So that values you are going to arrange in some order. Either you are going to arrange the values in ascending order or in descending order. So this chapter also you are going to study the some sorting algorithm. There is 3 sorting algorithms you are going to study. So what's the use of sorting? So you are going to arrange the elements either in ascending order or descending order. Some order you are going to arrange the elements. So how many types of sorting algorithms you are studying here? 3 types. What are they? Bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort. That and all you will study later. Okay. Then next one is insert. So what's the normal meaning of insert? Insert means you are going to insert some already one database or data structure will be there. So using that you are going to insert one value in the data structure. Next one is update. What do you mean by update? Already, for example, your class details, each and everything you have inserted. If for example, your class database name take us a 12. Okay, 12th computer student. Okay, so your class you are storing the database name, or you are creating a database called 12th computer. Okay, so in that 12th computer you are inserting means you are going to add lot of data. What are the details you need to add? Your class students. So total strength 54 means you are going to add 54 student details inside the 12th computer data structure. Okay, then update means already 54 students is there. Okay, so consider one more student is going to join in your section. Okay, already so 54 is there. Next, this year already, so again one more student is going to join. So what's the total count? 55. Already 54 is there. So now you need to add one more student inside database. So that kind of time you need to update something. So already existing details will be there. You are going to add one more thing along with the existing thing. Existing means already present detail. That is called update. Understood? So what do you mean by update? To update an existing item in a data structure. Next one is delete. So consider one student from your class is going outside. Okay. So at that time you need to delete the student detail. So that is called delete. Already store the details of your class. Now you are going to delete one item. Understood this one? Okay. So next one is characteristics of an algorithm. This is very important 5-mark question. Okay. So characteristics of an algorithm is very important 5-mark question. Okay, so please note it down, students. Those who didn't have the book or PDF or anything, please note it down in your notebook and study. This is very important question. So in the first part of this chapter, this is the only one 5-mark question, first part. Okay, so listen, characteristics of an algorithm. So algorithm will have this kind of characteristics. What do you mean by first one? Input. So each and every algorithm will have input. For example, for that only first itself I said you are going to add 2 numbers. Okay, so with you are going to add 2 numbers means how many numbers you need to give as input? 2 numbers. Without giving 2 numbers, whether you get the output? No, isn't it? So input means 0 or more quantities to be supplied. So more number of, that means either you need to supply 1 or more. So more than high, that is higher than 0. So 0 or more quantities of number to be supplied. Generally you can able to get the output. For example, adding 2 numbers means how many numbers you are giving as a input? 2. Okay, so 2 quantities you are giving supply as a. So please take that example, then you can easily study this one. So you are going to add 2 numbers. Okay, so how many inputs you need now? 2. So 2, more than 2 quantities you are going to supply as an input. Then come to the next, output. What's the second characteristic? Output. Output mean adding 2 numbers. You are adding, for example, 10, 15. 10 plus 5. 10, 5. 10, 5 means what answer you will get? 15. So how many output you are getting? Only 1. So at least 1 output you need to produce. Whatever quantities you are input you are taking, at least 1 output you need to produce. Understood? Then next one is the finiteness. Okay, so finiteness means, for example, last year you have studied loop concept. Isn't it? For loop. For example, I equal to 0, I less than 5, like that, isn't it? So what's the meaning? So I less than 5, less than, or I am giving I equal to 0. I less than or equal to 5. So that loop will execute how many times? Till 5 times. Isn't it? So that is finite. So how many times you are giving? So till that time the algorithm need to execute. So algorithm must terminate after a finite number of steps. So that, for example, adding 2 numbers. What's the first step? Take the input. That's the first step. Second step, add the number, then output. So 3 steps is there. So that problem will end with 3 steps. Understood finiteness? So whether it will end with the second step, whether you will get the answer? No. So based on the problem, you should give the finite number of steps. Understood? Okay. So next one is definiteness. What's the meaning of definiteness mean? So whatever you are writing, for example, physics practical, you will write procedure. So whatever you are writing, that should be a well-defined. Well-defined means, so each and everything will be defined neatly. So by reading itself, you can understand this is the working of this one, or this is the principle of this one. That is called what? Definiteness. So all the operations or whatever thing you are defining, that should be a well-defined. Understood? Okay. Next one is effectiveness. Okay, so normal effectiveness, you know, isn't it? So all the things we normally used to say, no, it should be effective class, isn't it? So likewise, so what are the instructions you are giving? That might be a effective. So whatever thing you are giving as instructions or procedures or whatever maybe, it should be a effective. Understood? So next one is correctness. So correctness means in that whatever algorithm you are writing, that should be a error free. Without error you need to write. So programs you'll write, no, you need to write the program and execute and run. So run means if you are writing the program correctly, you will get correct output. That's a error free. Correctness. Understood? Next one is simplicity. So within a simple manner, for example, one big question you are studying, so that it will be theory question you are feeling very tough to study. So there, for example, in that theory question itself, some are 10 or 11 important points will be there. To explaining that 10 to 11 points, they will give nearly a 3 or 4 pages. But the important points may be 10 and 11. But you will read and you can cut short and you can write the important one, isn't it? Likewise, simplicity. Whatever you are implementing, that should be easy to implement. By seeing itself, you can know, this is a working of this one. So easy to implement. Understood? So next one is unambiguous. Unambiguous means, so whatever you are expressing as an algorithm or instructions or procedure, it should be a clear. Okay, so normally we used to take class and we will ask to the students, it's clear, isn't it? What's the meaning? Whatever we are teaching, so whether they say understand, whether it will reach your mind, isn't it? That it's clear. So whatever you are giving as an instruction, that will be a clear, that is called unambiguous. Okay, feasibility. Feasibility means should be feasible with available resources. Okay, for example, you are going to prepare something. For example, take one example of cooking something or preparing. For example, you are going to preparing a tea or coffee. Okay, so preparing a coffee means, for example, you are going to prepare a coffee for 1 liter milk. Okay, so what's available resources you need to prepare a coffee? Milk you need, then sugar, decoction, etc. Isn't it? Within that available resources, you need to made it. So you have sugar and tea or the milk, everything. So all the available resources are there. So whether you will think to borrow something from your neighbor because all the available resources are with you? No, isn't it? So likewise, whatever things you are implementing, with the available resource you need to implement. Okay, then portable. Portable means independent of any programming language. Okay, so independent of any programming language or operating system. That means, for example, you are implementing any software or anything. Some systems you will use Windows XP, some system you will use Windows 7, or some systems you will use Windows 8. So whatever you are using, if you are implementing something, it will support for all the systems and all the softwares are all operating system. Understood this one, characteristics of an algorithm? Very, very important 5-mark question. So after completion of this session, please today's homework is listen once again. After completion of this session, you should draw this tabular column in your notebook. So all of you, please listen it. Please draw this tabular column in your notebook and you should study and write. Very, very important 5-mark question. Understood? So today up to this enough. I think it's so. So tomorrow we can continue the remaining portion. So please study this question. Understood, students? Thank you. Take care.